This is the fastest track in all of NASCAR. And they have come from throughout the South to be thrilled by their heroes.
Buggity, buggity, buggity! Let's go racing, boys! I don't think Bobby Jr. heard me. 32 car didn't get a very good start.
Trouble back straight away. Car around. That was Bobby Labonte's second week in a row.
A lot of cars around. That's a huge
24,
wreck.
Matt Kenseth in the 17. Remember, this is what happened to Bobby Labonte early in the race at Las Vegas.
They're still wrecking back there.
Kurt Busch, our points leader in the 97 car.
Watch right here, these two cars, 25 and the 10. Now, they make contact. Watch the smoke fly. And that's why he got his left rear tire cut down right there, Bobby Jr. Now, back behind them, I'm not sure if drivers reacted to seeing the smoke or if the spotter said something, but that's what created this mess behind them. I'm not sure that the two are related, but they more than likely are.
Now, we looked at multiple angles and cannot confirm whether there was contact between Scott Riggs in the white number 10 and the green 41 of Casey Mears.
Because when we see the 41 here, he's already sideways, and Riggs is obviously going past.
We definitely know everything behind that was a chain reaction.
And we go back to green to begin lap 6. Single file restart. Ryan Newman out front.
Try this again.
But for how long? Here comes Jimmie Johnson.
Jimmie Johnson in the 48. You look back there, Carl Edwards in that green and white number 99. These two cars were the class of the field yesterday in that Busch race. I mean, already we're seeing cars run multiple grooves. You see Ryan Newman in the 12 already running the high side. We saw that a lot yesterday in the Busch race as well.
Darrell, I think you hit on the big difference. 3 of the top 4 right there. Johnson, Edwards, and Biffle got 300 miles on this track yesterday.
They're comfortable. These other guys have got to get up to speed. I mean, you know, it's been, like I said, it's been since Friday that they were on the racetrack.
Carl Edwards in the 99 said he was losing grip, especially when he got on the throttle. They'll put on 4 tires. They have dropped the air pressures on the left side for Carl Edwards. Long stop, having trouble getting it full. That didn't rattle Carl Edwards at all. In fact, he just radioed crew chief Bob Osborne and said the car's real good, still just a little bit tight. And they've been reminding Carl, including spotter Bobby Hudson from the beginning of this race, as he goes by the 97 of Busch, take care of your equipment. We're going to race hard with 50 to go. Just be patient, reinforcing that virtue to young Carl Edwards.
And Dale Jr. up high, 2 laps down. A drive-through pit penalty caused one of them. And for the lead, Jimmie Johnson, Greg Biffle going at it. Looks a lot like yesterday with Carl Edwards right there with him.
Yeah, it's like Jimmie Johnson in the 48 saying, look, you stole my thunder. You came to pit road a little early under green a while ago and got those tires. I want this lead back here side by side that time past the start-finish line.
6th lead change of the day.
Got a car smoking down in turn 1.
Mike Wallace.
Car's been running pretty badly.
Remember Wallace.
So Wallace comes on to pit road. I'm sorry, we were talking about Brian, and we're going to get a caution.
Yeah, the 4 car is putting out quite a bit of smoke, and I'm sure he must put out some debris. He's been running on 7 cylinders. Here and go by and making quite a bit of noise.
As I mentioned earlier, Joe said he really felt like this was going to be their weekend, and they tried to foreshadow what was going to happen with the weather here, and that's kind of what we saw at the last pit stop. The car had really tightened up as we watch yet another lead change here today. The 01 tightened up. They gave him a track bar adjustment, some air pressure adjustment, again to compensate for what they thought would be the weather change, and it appears to be working, guys.
11th lead change of the day as Greg Biffle drives past Jimmie Johnson.
But he's not ready to give up because Biffle did it on the low side, and then Biffle went to the high side. You can see Jimmie Johnson just peeking to the low side.
Lead change again. These two have gone at it all day long, and this will be our, if it holds up at the start-finish line, the only place lead changes are officially scored. If Johnson gets his bumper out front, it will be the 14th lead change of the day.
And he did.
But this is almost like instant replay. Greg Biffle is 16. That group beats everyone off pit road. Jimmie Johnson sits back there for a few laps after a restart, and then he takes the lead.
Biffle had stretched it out pretty good after that last restart and up to this point here. And now it looks like they've made some good adjustments on the 48 car. And he's going to walk the dog. And, you know, to follow up a little bit on last week, just think about how many times that car gets inspected. Torn down, engine, gone through, check. Because when you win, they check you out a lot closer than they do if you run 5th or 6th.
Lead change number 15 puts Biffle back to the front. Roush Racing teammates Carl Edwards and Mark Martin, pupil and teacher. Well, maybe. But Edwards, at least in the Busch Series, has picked up where Mark Martin left off as far as getting to victory lane is concerned. Now they battle side by side for third.
But not surprised to see Mark running good here. You heard Matt Yoakum earlier say he's won here twice, but he ran second here in the fall, led a bunch of laps up to near the end, and this is the same race car. But the thing about it, this Mark Martin, it seems like his car is getting stronger and stronger as this race unfolds.
And caution is out. For the 5th time today, there is Bobby Hamilton Jr., who was trying to get back to the lead lap, crashing in turn 2. Greg Biffle still leading. Jimmie Johnson, Carl Edwards, Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin, Elliott Sadler, 5 Fords, 1 Chevrolet in the top half dozen. Then it's Jeff Burton Chevy, Casey Kane's Dodge, Scott Briggs and Dave Blaney in the top 10.
Well, it looked like that inevitably here, somebody on the restart will spin the rear tires. Looked like that could have happened to Biffle that time.
And Jimmie Johnson in the 48, he's going to take advantage, but Greg Biffle gets that good run on the high side, drag racing down the backstretch.
Behind them going into turn 1, they were 4 wide at about 6th place.
Well, don't look now, but they're still that way.
Johnson with the low Chevrolet on the bottom leads this lap from Biffle, who takes it right back heading for turn 1.
Are you sure he led it? Because they were just about neck and neck.
Well, you get such a run down the straightaway when you're on the high side like Biffle is, and you get bogged down a little when you're on the bottom like Jimmie is there in the 48. That's how come they kind of meet in the middle of the back straightaway. One coming and one going.
I must have blinked. They gave that lap to Biffle.
And these guys, I mean, we've been counting lead changes at the start-finish line. There's no telling how many times they swapped the lead at other areas of the racetrack.
And in the 48 car, Jimmie Johnson, it's hard to stay down underneath somebody running the kind of speeds they're running off the corners here without taking a chance of getting sucked around.
Look at Carl Edwards in the 99. Our top three different lines through 1 and 2.
But you do lay your foot on those brakes.
Lead change, turn 2. Johnson with a run from the top to bottom of the racetrack. He edges Biffle, but no way he's going to clear him.
These guys just will not give up, and we still have over 100 laps to go.
Right there's where it gets a little touchy for the guy on the inside, because he's got to have a little bit of room on the outside to clear, and he just can't quite make it.
This time through 1 and 2, Jimmie Johnson to the bottom, Greg Biffle all the way up to the top of the racetrack.
The bottom will prevail if you can just stay in the gas as you exit the corner.
Since we battle for the lead again.
Yeah, I tell you though, this makes me nervous. I'm telling you, when you run underneath somebody like that, it just really is hard to keep your car from getting into that guy on the outside.
I mean, they are neck and neck again after lap 1 of a restart. 7 1/1000ths of a second separated, with Biffle leading that lap.
22 lead changes today among 7 drivers. But those 2 have led just about all the laps. All but 12.
And we just, as I mentioned earlier, we've only been counting the lead changes at the start-finish line. There's no telling how many times these guys have swapped the lead other places on the racetrack.
All right, so we have 48 laps to go.
We have a blown engine right down the back straightaway, hitting 45 car, and a caution flag is out, and that'll be good for some guys and bad for others.
Kyle Petty with the problem, and just was going to ask what kind of strategy at this point, because they won't have to stop again.
No, this will be their final stop, but this is what happens at the end of this race. A lot of times you'll start seeing engine problems because of that sustained RPM.
Well, Doug Richard, crew chief for Greg Biffle, had a pit board passed around so everybody could read what they wanted to do to this race car. Answer, nothing. They are going to go back out again with the same setup, same tires, same everything that has run so well for them all day long. Jeannie.
Well, it's been a pattern on the 48 car of Jimmie Johnson, just getting looser and looser throughout the day as they try to adjust. The car is, yes, loose into turns, around a wedge in the left rear and a track bar adjustment. Steve.
Jeannie, Carl Edwards said we really needed that caution. We've gotten really loose. They made a track bar adjustment, wedge, and air pressure. Matt?
Left side of your screen is a 6 is down and away. He's not going to beat the 48 off. No changes for Mark Martin. His car was 2/10 a second a lap faster than the leader. Meanwhile, Casey Kane, his car was tight on entry, loose on exit. Tommy Baldwin tried to make some changes, chassis and also air pressure, to get this car the setup it needs to go to victory lane. They entered pit road in the 3rd and 5th position.
Look at there. We've been talking about lead changes all day long. Look at there. They swapped it right there. You heard me.
285 laps in the book, 40 to go as Jimmie Johnson leads Greg Biffle off into 1.
Got to be able to close the deal, and that's everybody, driver and crew.
Mark Martin up for 3rd. Carl Edwards, Dave Blaney. An impressive 5th. Scott Riggs, Brian Vickers, Jeff Burton, Casey Kane, Elliott Sadler. That's your top 10.
Boys, with 40 laps to go, as we say, business fixing to pick up here.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if you can feel it at home or not, but the intensity just, I mean, the electricity just starts running through the air these last few laps of a race.
During that caution, Joe Nemechek's car was pushed to the garage, and Ricky Rudd returned to the racetrack 25 laps down.
Biffle in the 16 got a real good run on the high side off turn 2 that time down the backstretch. Let's see if he can close the deal going through 3 and 4. But Johnson's so strong through the middle of the corner.
I just don't know. I think if whatever Jimmie Johnson's got, Greg Biffle's going to find out right now. Turn 1, guys. Somebody blowing up.
He's not going to get it, Matt. It's Robbie Gordon.
I think it's a 7 car.
Robbie Gordon, that would be the 3rd race in a row that he has had engine troubles.
Snake eyes. Snake bit.
Now, crew chief Doug Richard told his driver Greg Biffle to come if the 48 came. Biffle decided 4 tires. They had discussed 2, but it was Biffle's decision to take 4. To Jeannie.
Well, you better believe the 48 was coming in. I mentioned it earlier that Jimmie Johnson ran the Busch race, and he learned tires are so important here. Coming in for 4 new ones, just a tick tight off. Steve?
Carl Edwards just a little free in the center. They added some bite into the right rear. 4 tires for Carl Edwards. Matt?
Scott Riggs, career best finish, 4th at Daytona, running in the top 5. No changes for the 10 car. No changes for the 6 of Mark Martin. This is a big race off. It's not going to be won by Jimmie Johnson this time.
I'll say it's a race, but how about Carl Edwards in that 99 car? It looks like that group is the one that's going to really prevail.
Restart. Carl Edwards a little slow on the gas. The field stacked up a little bit, but stayed in line.
Yeah, it's really easy here late in the race. You're excited. You want to get going. Easy to spin the tires, and when you do, closes everybody right up on your back bumper.
Look at the run. Jimmie Johnson in that 48 car got off turn 2. He knows he better reel in Carl Edwards in a hurry, try to get this lead back.
It's go time for Johnson, and he completes the pass for the 26th lead change of the day.
I think Jimmie Johnson is one of those kind of drivers. You just don't know how good he is until it counts.
See, Greg Biffle, though, Carl Edwards' teammate in the 16 car, pulling up in there, as well as Brian Vickers in that 25 car. Most of his positions gained has been on pit road. We've been talking about it all year long. Roush versus Hendrick right there in the top 5.
2 Hendrick Chevrolets, 3 Roush Fords.
See, the guy that's really, really just hanging tough, Carl Edwards in that 99 car, boys. He is just right there.
And he's closing, Darrell.
And it's just like yesterday when Jimmie Johnson sat there and watched him, hoping he'd make a mistake. The roles are reversed today.
Carl's mom looking on, Nancy. She has been his biggest fan through his young racing career.
Like all moms and dads, made huge sacrifices to get that kid here financially. Did everything they hawked the farm to get him here.
But you know what, guys? I think about this 99 team. Go back a year ago. They didn't know how long they were going to be racing. Without a sponsor, there was dissension between the race team. They didn't know what was going to happen. And here they are, boy. He got loose off turn 2. He's digging in the barrel all he can dig right now.
The reason he got loose off of turn 2 is because he came off of there. I mean, he closed the gap on Jimmie Johnson a lot off of just turn 2 that time. He just closed up a bunch off of turn 2 or 4. He moved up the racetrack, and it is really helping him. I mean, he is closing fast now. He's got that high line. He's cutting that gap down, boys.
And he's pulling away from Greg Biffle, but he better hurry, Darrell. Lap and a half to go, halfway down the backstretch.
He's coming.
0.4 of a second last lap, 0.3 of a second, 2 laps ago, and
this is going to be another one of those Atlantas. I'm telling you, they're going to be side by side when they come to the line next time by.
Here they go, white flag, boys, last time.
He's there.
And he cut the margin in less than half.
Hey, boys, watch this. Jimmie goes up high to block him. That may or may not be good.
If he can get that run right here, if he can get it, keep that momentum.
He's going to get a run at him.
He'll get one shot at turn 3 and 4.
I'm telling you, they're going to be side by side when they come to the line. It's going to be another one of those fantastic Atlanta finishes.
Johnson tries to block him. It's who can stay in the throttle here off turn 4.
And here they come, and I think Cole's got the advantage.
Got him.
He does. He wins it. Cole Ruddy has done it. Woo! Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
2/100ths of a second after 500 miles. And these fans love it.
Look at Carl. Watch this. Here he goes. Come on, come on. Yes! And that's after 500 miles of racing.
Let me tell you, Jimmie Johnson is an amazing competitor, and I'm telling you, I've never driven that hard in my life. Though I was following him, and I thought, man, we might finish second, but even if we do, that's the hardest I've ever driven in my life, and I was pretty proud of that. So congratulations.
No kidding. The car was sideways a couple of times, and you saved it and still won.
I was just, Bobby Hudson. We're just on a mission. We're here to win races. I can't believe we won 2 this weekend. Thank you, everybody, for giving me opportunities. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I am.